Hello, today we talk about absorption and digestion of the nutrients in the birds. My group is Madi Ude Kelly Santiago, Kelly Joana, Karina Ayala, Camila Garcia, Carlos Fali Morina, and Andre Quintero.
Beginning of digestion. Digestion begins at the beak, which is made up of the nasal bones, maxillary and premaxillary, and another mandibular skeleton. All these bones are covered by a very hard epidermal corneal sheet called rampoteca. The beak is not only involved in obtaining and handling food, but also participates in vocalization, priming, defense, courtship, and nest building, as it serves as a pressure organ. What is digestion? It is process of transforming food into sufficiently small molecules called nutrients with the help of mechanical and chemical process so that they cross the plasmid membrane. Digestion is achieved thanks to the digestive system of bees, which is a set of accessory glands and organs responsible for carrying out the activity of digesting food, transforming it into a similar nutritional substance so that these are distributed through the blood to all the tissues of the body. Of the beer, the digestion of the beer is fast, lasting 2 and a half hours.
The salivary glands are those that are responsible for producing saliva, which moistens the food to help digest food better. Saliva also has enzymes such as amylase that start the breakdown of food. In bears, these glands are reduced as in the carnivorous bears. The most important salivary glands are maxillary, in the roof of the mouth, palatine, in either side of the nasal opening and the roof of the mouth, a phenothyroidea gland in the roof of the pharynx and each side of the common opening for Eustachian canal, anterior submandibular gland in the angle formed by the union of the upper and lower pins of jaws, posterior submandibular glands, lingual glands in the tongue, cricoid arterium glands around the glottis, a small gland on the corner of the mouth, uh, saliva functions, lubrication, hairs formation of the food bolus in the salowings, enzymatic activity, alpha melasa braid, alpha for glucosidic bands in the starch on the glycogen, buffer capacity, in the contains a large amount of the bicarbonates in and is the buffering capacity of saliva to counter change in pH. This property gel protects the oral tissues against the action for acids from food. Taste, with its chemical breakdown food, the resulting solution can be detected by the taste buds. Protection keeps the oral membranes moist.
The crop is a membranous bag that is part of the digestive system in the some animal. Communication with the esophagus and the heart, the function of accumulating food to digestive is slow. In bears, the crop stores monasteries and soft food. The crop is the more developed in the carnivorous bears than in scavengers. The crop does not have chemical properties, only mechanical, and that it is not secret enzymes. Even so, allows saliva to moisten the food.
Speaking a little about the digestive system of birds, the proventriculus is considered the glandular stomach. In this portion, there is a secretion of enzymes which add to unfold the food. The pH is acid as there is a large secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Later, the food passes to the mechanical stomach, key known as ventricle of Guichard, where we find a cutically caged hair responsible for protecting the Guichard. In this portion, the food is cruised with the hair of storms or grit. The food after being crushed is sent to the peristaltic movement or to the intestines, where the process of emulsification of fats and absorption of nutrients will take place.
Small intestine. The small intestine is shorter than in mammals but with a greater number of convolutions. This comprehensive the ventral peritoneal sac occupies the caudal part of the body cavity and is the next to the gizzard. The community of microorganisms in the intestine is canon is several wide friends bacteria, intestinal flora, intestinal microbiota. It consists of a diverse community composed primarily of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. Duodenum. Partially digested food passes into the small intestine, composed of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. It receives the pancreatic, duodenal loop, and hepatic secretions in the duodenal loop. And digestion is carried out in the first section. Pancreatic secretion contains bicarbonate, amylase, carboxypeptidase, trypsinogen, and chymotrypsinogen. These last two are converted respectively in trypsin and chymotrypsin by the effect of enteropeptidase secreted by the duodenum. The pancreatic and bile ducts empty in the small intestine. From the pancreas is received digestive enzymes and bicarbonate wheels from the liver. It receives beer, thus counteracting the effect of hydrochloric acid from the proventriculus, thus creating a neutral pH. Digestive juices from the pancreas digest proteins, will bills, digest lipids and fat-soluble vitamins A, B, E, and Q. It is in the duodenum where the gastric juice exerts most of its action at being a very good digestion of good and absorption of nutrients. Jejunum and ileum. Its function is to carry out the absorption of the substances of the alimentary chain. In this section of the small intestine acts the intestine which drinks proteins and lipids. The wall of the jejunum and ileum present the intestinal bile was function is to transfer the aforementioned substances to the bloodstream. It has ability to absorb nutrients into the intestinal vein to end up in the blood. There are active nutrient absorption mechanisms which in when energy expenditure is required and passive mechanisms when the nutrients cross the membranes by diffusion.
Intestinal flora. The bacterium population of small intestines consists mainly of lactobacilli, but enterococci, E. coli, Eubacterium, Clostridia, Propionibacterium, and bacteria can occasionally be found. The bacterial population of the small intestine involves diverse growth, but it generally starts by 2 weeks of age. Hepatic secretion consists of bile, vomition is to emulsify fats and stimulates pancreas lipase activity. Digestion and ileum secretes malts and sucrates. Carbohydrate digestion, dipeptidases and aminopeptidases, proteins digestion and interacids, fat digestion. Pseudotrophy. It is even returns to the second and small intestine of the excrements that have reached the coprotein or the urogenes and archived through a retroperistalsis mechanism, representing a kind of pseudocostrophe. Taking and bands of the landfills of the second grade efficiency is obtained in the extraction of nutritional products from the food. Eliminating the non-digestible remains by means of a strong construction of its musculature. That bit spells dark brown semi-solid fats. These fats could increase the permanence of certain drugs in the body, as happens with the glass enterohepatic circuit.